I'm an angler on the BASS Elite Series. I also fish the Upper Chesapeake Bay, and I've fished that area for about 20 years. I'm often asked, what does it take to be successful on tidal water? So today I'd like to share a couple of those key things that have helped me over the years. The first thing I'd like to say is you need to do your homework. And what I mean by that is, on tidal water, you need to know the tides and their effect, and especially the tides for the day that you're going to be fishing that water. And what you do is you get tide charts off the internet or in local papers, or that information is available on quality GPS units today. So go to the water armed with that information before you leave your home. The next thing I'd like to say is get yourself in position to be successful on the water. And what I mean by that is I prefer to fish the outgoing tide if possible. You always want to be fishing moving water, but outgoing tide is probably the best, and in particular the last couple of hours of the outgoing tide. So what you might have to do is plan your day around those tides. If you're just out there fishing for fun, you might want to start at a later time during the day, fish a little bit later if that's the preferred tide. Well, unfortunately, if you're fishing a tournament, you can't have that option, so you might have to run to areas that hold the tide that's going to be best for you. The third thing I'd like to share with you is to understand the effects that the tide have on the fish. In tidal water, you have an awful lot of options for the type of cover and structure the fish get on. You have boat docks, you have rock piles, logs, you have grass beds. So understanding where those fish will be positioned in different tides. In general, if you view it as on a high tide, the fish have an opportunity to spread out on the cover. On a low tide, and at the very end of that low tide, they're going to be pulled out of that structure, and they're going to be pinpointed on the end of docks or irregularities in the grass beds and what. So you want to try to put as much of this in your favor, and when you understand the tides, you can kind of make a milk run. Okay. The last thing that I'd like to share with you is when I go out and fish for a tournament, pre-fish for a tournament, or I'm out there fun fishing, I try to find 2 or 3 new areas each time I'm out. It's real easy to go back to the old spots where you've always caught them, but the real challenge is to find new areas. And on tidal water, that can be more challenging than on a lake or another body of water. What you might have to do is fish one area at one portion of the tide, maybe come back a couple hours later, because on these areas you're really only going to have a short window of opportunity when the fish might be active. So it might take a couple times coming back to a new spot, checking it out. But don't give up. When you first come to the spot, fish it hard, and you don't get bit. Many times I've gone to areas after I've already fished them, come back a couple hours later, and those fish will load up on those spots. Hopefully these little tips will help you be successful in tidal water. I appreciate it.